Let's move on to our third main topic today. And our third main topic today gets submitted to us by Chuck Mills, who writes, "Hey guys, Variety just put up a list of the 20 finalists for the Best Visual Effects Oscar this year. Some obvious ones like Star Wars and Avengers, but also some unexpected ones like Ford v Ferrari and Ad Astra. What do you think of the list, and which films will get the final 5 spots?" All right, thanks a lot for saying that in, Chuck. And yes, Chuck is absolutely right. The Academy, the branch of the Academy that looks after the visual effects category, has released the final list of 20 films that are going to be their 20 films that they consider for the big award, for the Best Visual Effects Award. So let's take a look at what some of those are. We're going to start here with this. Ad Astra, The Aeronauts. By the way, Ad Astra is a movie that I really disliked, but the visual effects are stunning.
Yeah.
And by the way, don't forget, remember what won Best Visual Effects the other year? The Ryan Gosling Mission to the Moon. Why am I forgetting where he played the first guy to walk on the moon? Why am I? First Man. First Man. So remember, that caught a lot of people by surprise, but it was those sorts of visual effects that so seamlessly felt utterly real. Verisimilitude. It felt so seamlessly real. The visual effects artist nominated as top 5, and it ended up winning the thing. Anyway, we got The Aeronauts coming. Aladdin, which I think have some wonderful, fun visual effects, but I can't see it being a whatever. Alita Battle Angel had some terrific visual effects. Obviously, one of the front runners would be Avengers Endgame, Captain Marvel, Cats. Don't laugh, man. I'm going to predict right now, I think Cats is going to get one of those final 5 spots. Just from what I've seen in the trailers, understanding that those aren't costumes they're wearing, that's all CGI. Could be one of them. Dumbo, I don't see getting that. Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. But you know what? I giggled when I first read that. And then I thought about it. It's like, you know, a lot of that movie is visual effects.
Yeah.
And some of it is done pretty seamlessly. So I don't expect it to be in the final 5, but my shock of it being in the final 20 is gone. Because the more I thought about it, you know, I can see that. Then speaking of cars and racing, Ford v Ferrari, same thing. It's just the visual effects were so seamless, they just smoothed right into the movie. Then we move on to Gemini Man, which, look, you knew Gemini Man was going to... I don't think it'll get one of the final 5 spots, but you knew it had to be in this list here. Much like Gemini Man, for the same reasons, Irishman with the digital makeup effects. I don't think digital makeup effects is going to be enough to get the final 5 nomination, but you never know. Jumanji: The Next Level, obviously Lion King. That movie was so freaking photorealistic that people to this day still think it's a live action movie. So I believe that'll get in the final 5. I do. Men in Black International, not a great movie, but not bad visual effects. Midway, getting into some war movies, Midway in 1917. Spider-Man: Far From Home. One of the other front runners, of course, will be Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. And Terminator: Dark Fate, which also not bad visual effects. Rob, as you go down through these lists and you start seeing lists, what are the ones that stand out to you that think have a real shot here at, getting one of those coveted 5 Best Visual Effects Academy Award nominations?
Well, I think, you were pointing out a lot of obvious choices. I mean, it's going back to First Man, visual effects are coming to the point where you're creating seamless, you can't tell where the fantasy begins and the reality ends. And I think that's what you want from visual effects. So I think the more obvious things, if we like we've been seeing Star Wars visual effects now for 42 years. Star Wars has always been at the forefront, even the motion control cameras, the Dijkstraflex camera that was invented for the first Star Wars movie. So obviously it's going to get in there, but I don't know if it'll make the final 5. I see things like you're pointing out, Ford v Ferrari getting in there, Lion King probably. I wouldn't bet. I wouldn't be surprised if The Irishman was in there because that's new technology that they've refined, and I just think that we're moving into a different realm. We think visual effects is monsters or spaceships or laser guns or whatever, but really, what visual effects are at their best is they make you believe. They make you believe in the fantasy. They make you believe in the reality. Ford v Ferrari. I mean, I was reading an article about the effects. They've done some incredible things. The photorealistic work and the car crashes and things that they did in that movie, amazing. But But what we used to think about I think Avengers Endgame, because of the Thanos character, they've refined a CG character and made him absolutely, totally believable, totally photorealistic, a purple guy, and he's doing more. He's going into battle. He's emoting. The fact that you can get emotional when Thanos is having a conversation with one of his daughters that you believe, that's great visual effects work.
And scale. I mean, just pure scale of the visual
effects. Absolutely. And I think Alita Battle Angel has a chance because a lot of that film, it has a lot of visual effects in it, a lot of interesting stuff that they attempted with people being turned into mechanized creatures. So you've got a real person's face on a mechanized body throughout the entire film. So I don't know what the top 5 are going to be, but I lean more toward the less obvious choices that we've seen in the past because visual effects technology is changing.
All right, so here's the 5 that I think it's going to be. And I may change my mind, but as we get closer to the actual nomination, I reserve the right to change my mind, all right? The 5 I think it's going to be are, I'm going to go with the first 2 obvious ones. Is Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, and Avengers Endgame. I believe are going to get spots. I believe Lion King has to get a spot. Whether you liked or hated Lion King, when everybody's still wondering, is this whole thing real?
It's astonishing.
I mean, you got to consider that in there. Because of First Man, so that's 3 right there. Because of First Man, I'm going to throw in Ad Astra. I think, because when you look at that, as much as I didn't really appreciate the movie, the film you believed every environment. Everything that was happening, you completely believed it. And again, maybe I wouldn't have put it in the top 5, but because they went First Man and gave it the win last year, I think that could be one of the possibilities. So there's that. As far as the 5th spot, I'm not going to go Irishman because I actually thought Gemini Man did that better than the Irishman did. And there is actually a few moments. Look, it's amazing, the effects of the de-aging. There are a few moments in Irishman. It's like, Robert De Niro's eyes just change color. And sometimes it doesn't look quite great on that level. It's that 5th spot for me that right now I'm locked up a little bit in. I don't think it's going to be Terminator. I don't think it's going to be Spider-Man Far From Home. I don't think it's going to be Captain Marvel. I don't think it's going to be Irishman or Gemini Man. You know what? I'm going to go Cats. Cats is going to round it out. I just think that, first of all, it's a celebrated property. But really, as weird and creepy and off-putting as the trailer have been, my God, the visual effects are crazy. Because you would think those are just people in costume.
And that's where visual effects excelled. It's never been done before.
And it's never been done before.
And remember, after the first trailer dropped, like with Sonic the Hedgehog, they went in and refined the look. And so that second trailer showed you how much better these characters were looking. And they've done some astonishing stuff in there.
All right, question is, guys, you see this list. What do you think are going to be the... Remember, the best visual effects, a lot of people confuse this, is not your favorite movie. It has nothing to do with whether you think the movie is good or not. That should not be a part of your consideration whatsoever. Which 5 movies do you think did the best job with their visual effects and you think should get one of those 5 spots, those 5 nomination spots when the Academy Award nominations come out? Jump down to the comments section below and let us know what you think. All right.